I'd like to thank our Patreon supporters, Matt J., Carson C., Claire G., and James P. With their support, we have already covered this year's hosting fees. They are a big part of what keeps this podcast going. Go to patreon.com/whatweremember to sign up now, help support the podcast, and get 3 exclusive episodes. Back to the Future, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Men in Black. Thanks.
I don't know how we're going to get through this one.
We got it. We'll do it.
Okay.
I'm relying a lot on Andy Hubert.
I don't know this movie at all.
Oh, jeez.
What do you mean? We have to do this.
I remember
movie.
their 3 names.
Okay, well that's a good start. Don't
Tum
spoil
Tum.
it. No, you already spoiled the. That's like 50% of our podcast. Down
Too
the
early.
drain.
Too early. I got nothing.
This is not going to be good.
My name is Bradley Jones,
I'm Andrew Moldenhauer.
And I'm Andy Hubert.
and this is not a movie review podcast, but a podcast where we try to remember what happened in a movie we haven't seen in a very, very long time.
This is a very long time for this one.
Oh my gosh.
This is what we remember about 3 ninjas.
Were there 2 or 3 bad guys in Home Alone? And who was that forgetful fish in Finding Nemo? Join us as we're watching films. See what we remember and what memories we kill. Let's start the show. Here we go. This is what we remember.
Were there 2 or 3?
Bad guys stalling for time.
We don't know anything about this movie.
We have to do this movie for the podcast. It fits all the criteria. But it is probably the deepest.
It's going to be like a
Darkest-
10-minute first half and an hour-long second.
Yeah. Strap in.
Oh my gosh.
Strap in and strap on, because this is what we remember about 3 ninjas. I already said that. I am stretching again.
All right, so
Okay, so,
what do you guys remember about
Here's
this?
what I remember before I jump to the end, because I know a little bit about what the end of the movie.
Okay, you might give me some
I
information.
have no idea. Andy Hubert, what's the first scene of this movie?
Thanks, Bradley.
No problem.
It's 3. There's 3 kids.
Okay.
There's 3 of them.
Do
I
they
think.
have parents?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
They have a grandpa.
They're being trained by their grandfather.
Yes.
Who is Victor Wong, right?
No.
No, it's
You
not.
are Wong.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say it's Victor Wong.
No, it's some other guy, but he's pretty good. He's just not
What?
Victor
No,
Wong.
it's totally okay.
This is a more spry actor. He actually fights in this movie. He's
Oh.
doing some more physical things.
Okay,
But
all right.
Victor Wong is just a little too old at this
a little
point.
too Wongy.
Yeah, he's Wong for the part. We are doing good, guys.
Okay.
This is going to be, everybody get ready for 20 minutes of puns. So he's like training his 3 grandkids.
They go to his place, I think maybe just for the summer.
That makes sense.
There's some sort of
Okay.
vacation or like
And they're just in like SoCal. They're just like,
SoCal.
They're kind of like hipster kids, I would say. Not hipster kids, but like California.
yeah, they're
dude
like Venice
kids.
yeah,
Beachy
they're
kind of
wearing.
kids.
I think they're wearing like backwards hats and like Bugle Boys.
They're like
Oh,
super
yeah.
90s, yeah.
Definitely like Looney Tune shirts that are way too big.
They all know how to skateboard. They
Oh,
all know
yeah.
how to rollerblade. They all know how to
Well, of
surf.
course, how are you going to be a ninja without being able to do any of those things?
Okay. Ooh.
He gives them their ninja names.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. What?
Tum Tum.
Tum Tum.
Tum Tum is the youngest.
Because that guy cannot stop eating in the movie. That's
Yes.
his gimmick.
Oh yeah.
He is the worst ninja of the 3. I don't know why he's
Well,
even
I
That's-
mean,
you're not wrong.
You need all 3 of them though.
There's a Rocky,
Rocky. That's
Rocky.
right. That's
Is that the
correct.
oldest?
maybe.
Okay. What's the middle one?
Bullwinkle. Nailed it. We are off to a good start in this podcast.
All right, guys.
Remembered everything.
We got 2 of the 3 ninjas. That's the show.
Rock, maybe? Rocky, Tum Tum,
Brick-a-brock.
and Slash. It's
Ooh,
like some cool
Ooh,
guy.
I like Slash.
So they're training with their grandfather.
Why? What did it? Wait. So
They want to be ninjas.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
they know that their grandfather's a ninja?
Well, his grandfather has some sort of special, awesome training. He's got his like home.
He has like a whole
little,
dojo in his place.
He's
Is
got, like,
his
a training
grandfather
center.
their grandfather is Asian?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, no. I know. Yes, I know that, but like,
So
How?
No, yeah,
How?
yeah, I know.
How?
I had the same thought.
here is what I propose. I bet their mom is Asian and their dad is just a white guy. and they're going on some sort of trip, and it's like, you go hang out with your
And
grandfather.
they just take very
And then
heavily after their
he
dad.
like
Yeah,
cheated
they just
on
take-
her and like had 3 kids because they're super white.
maybe it's
They're
a second
not
You
wife.
think she
Asian
would
at
remember
all.
when he came home with a kid and was like, "It's
no,
your kid"?
No, he chloroformed her or something.
We need to make Ninja Turtles into a live-action movie, and we got to do it on a budget. This is what they came up with.
All right,
Oh, man.
We'll just instead of Ninja Turtles, we'll just have 3 ninjas.
I'm even certain that they each have their own color.
Oh, yes.
associated.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely they
definitely.
do.
Tum Tum is like white. He has a white mask. They all have masks.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they have sweet
And blue and
masks.
red, I think, are the other
But I
two.
think,
Blue,
I think
yes.
they earn those.
Red,
I
white, and
think
blue.
The beginning of the movie starts with them
Oh.
doing like a training montage.
That's probably when they get their names is with their mask.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
get like sweet ninja outfits from
Yeah,
their
they're like
grandfather.
dragon masks or
Kind of like kabuki masks. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really sweet.
They are
And
really cool. I totally had one as a kid. Like, it was one of
The
those.
3 Ninjas outfit,
Yeah,
or-
I went as Halloween for one of the 3 Ninjas. You'd think I'd know this movie better, but
Take that photo. Let's put it on our Twitter.
So
The grandfather gets kidnapped at some point.
okay.
I don't know how early that happens.
Why? Oh, does he get kidnapped because he's in some like bad business, or is it like some guy coming back for revenge?
It's sort of a Miyagi thing. Not really Miyagi thing. I don't forget I said that. It's not like that at all.
Okay, I don't remember you saying that.
No, yeah, it's like some person their grandpa knew is like on the run,
And he runs
And
to
he-
them.
and he like comes.
Oh, he
Or
like,
maybe the grandpa like he asked the grandpa for help, and he's like, "No,
I don't
you're
do
a
that
criminal."
anymore.
He's like,
yeah, maybe he's like, "Yeah, I don't do that now. No, I'm just a good ninja now."
Also, I have 3
I don't assassinate
grandchildren
people now.
here.
yeah.
I can't,
And I'm
help
like,
you
I have to believe they have
commit
like
crime.
a fight right away.
Yeah, these 3 ninjas probably try to help out their grandfather. Like, I'm sure there's a raid that happens. Like, the grandfather says no to
yeah,
something.
and so he comes back when the bad guy comes back.
Bad guy comes back with a group of people
Group
to
of
steal
ninjas.
him, and they get overpowered by them.
Okay, so then they kidnap him.
And then the 3 kids feel responsible and they want to save their grandpa. And they're like, we need to be better ninjas. I know he said we're ninjas now and gave us these masks, but we are terrible ninjas.
Yeah, and they help like train each other, I think. But Tum Tum is awful.
He's bad the whole time.
He is
always.
just making jokes.
Doesn't he
and
like
farting
spill
and
bubble
eating
gum on the
food.
ground? It's like hard bubble gum, and like they slip on it and
Yeah.
stuff. There's like traps in this. Like
He's
Home
like the
Alone.
Macaulay Culkin of the
Yeah,
group.
that's true. He's the one
He's-
that's kind of like he's like the
He's
engineer.
not really a ninja. He's just like a trickster.
While those other 2 brothers are basically indistinguishable from each other.
Yeah.
I think they fight the same. I think they're the same person.
Played by twins.
Yeah, but Tum Tum is using like farts and like slingshots and like little
I
kid.
think you're totally right.
Little kid
I think
things
you're
to
100%
beat the
right
bad
about
guys.
this.
While the other guys are actually like punching and kicking and doing sweet spin kicks, Tum Tum's just over there like hitting them with a salami, like hitting them with with an Italian sub sandwich.
Oh my god!
And he's
this
constantly,
better happen.
And I bet he there's at least a couple times where he tries to like eat something during the fight.
Oh, yeah.
And gets interrupted. And then he's like, "You made me drop my snack."
oh my god!
I can't wait to watch this movie.
He's always eating goobers
He's always
or milk
eating
duds.
something. Yeah, he's just a fat kid.
I watched this movie at like a slumber party in elementary school, and it was awesome.
Was it
It was
the-
like this
I-
movie and then Sandlot.
When I saw this movie as a kid,
Oh.
I loved this movie. I thought it was great, and I wanted to be a ninja
Well, you
so
wanted,
bad.
you wanted to project yourself
Yeah.
into these kids.
Yeah.
I wanted a sweet
Like, in
grandfather
addition to
teach me
being awesome
karate.
ninjas, they're also skateboarders and surfers. And I was like, how come I can't ever be anywhere close to that cool?
I think there's a scene where they're like practicing shuriken throwing, and I'm like, I want to do that. That sounds great. But my mom won't let me even cross the street. How am I supposed to throw a metal ninja star? Like, there's no way this is gonna happen.
Oh man,
You gotta take baby steps, Brad.
Like, I'd be afraid to do that now. I'll cut myself.
So, yeah, this is so it's sort almost
So
I'm
there's
almost
also
willing
another
to
group
say-
of ninjas that come to steal the grandfather, and they're all wearing like black ninja outfits, and probably some sort of secret cult, or they need something from this grandfather. He has like an
Yeah,
ancient
he's got a-
artifact, or
He's holding on to
Or they
something.
need-
yeah, he's holding on to a thing.
Or I'm wondering if they need him to like they're like he's the only one that could pull off blank that we need to make some heist.
maybe,
Maybe I don't know.
They're-
You're probably more.
they're
right than me.
blackmailing him to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
I know I'll skip right to the end. Because I don't know
We're
what
there-
happens.
we're there
Join-
already.
Join us for part 2.
What happens in the middle of this movie, I have no idea. But maybe it'll knock something loose when I talk about. So the end climax scene is at like a sweet dock, and there's like iron barrels. There's a ship.
and like
There's
hooks on
hijinks.
pulleys. Yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet set.
Is
And-
it better than the next Karate Kid set that was
Oh,
also
yeah.
on a dock?
Oh yeah, this has like
Yeah.
a ship.
Oh,
This is a whole,
yeah.
like, shipping
This was like
yard.
a whole harbor that they fly through. It's not just like a single pier that they have a showdown on and burn
Yeah.
a car.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
And there's constantly stunt doubles in these outfits because like this is like the perfect way to do this kind of thing.
That's why they have the
right?
masks. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, thank God, we don't have to worry about dressing
Doing
up
any
to
of the
just stunt
stunts.
doubles.
So at this point, yeah, there's some sweet action scenes that actually do happen. They end up getting the upper hand on all the ninjas, and they free the grandfather, and the grandfather ends up saving the day and beating the bad guy.
Okay.
I think
It's sort of
From what I
Next
remember.
Karate Kid-esque, where like Miyagi takes down the last bad
Yeah.
guy. I feel like the middle is going to be sort of Beverly Hills Ninja, where it's like them tracking down the bad guy and his ninjas.
yes,
I
possibly.
am trying my hardest to not mix this up with Surf Ninjas, which is like in the forefront of my
yeah.
mind.
I mean, I could describe
See,
two ninjas
yeah,
like scene for
I had
scene.
the reverse problem. Where every time you keep talking about surf ninjas, I'm like, is that 3 ninjas? like the
man.
other way around.
I think this entire movie takes place in the forest and then in the dock. I don't know if they go anywhere else in this movie.
I
Well,
remember
is
some
it-
really cool like Malibu like
They hang out
houses
and go
stuff or
skateboarding
scenes.
and
Yeah,
stuff?
they've got to go skateboarding and
So maybe like before
Maybe
the
they get
grandfather
in
gets
trouble and they're
kidnapped.
forced to go to their grandfather's.
because they've been causing problems like with all
Maybe
their
they're skateboarding too much.
They're being too rebellious.
Yeah.
I think they're all
They're
in,
being, like,
in on the
truant.
ninja-ing. I think they want to be ninjas.
Oh yeah.
But
I
they-
think when they find it out, yeah, they certainly do.
But I'm guessing that they go home to their parents, and then that's when the grandfather gets kidnapped, and they have to like go on a rescue.
yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
And they're obviously probably trying to convince their parents, and then they have to like sneak out of the house and stuff, and
Yeah.
do their ninja sneak out of the house.
Now I'm wondering if there's like a subplot where the parents call the police. The police are like, "All right, man,
Nothing
we'll
we
keep
can
an
do."
eye out for your kids," because they're always disinterested whenever
Yeah.
a parent is concerned about a child.
yeah, hey man, it was
It's
the
gotta
ni- it was
be-
the 90s.
It's got to be 24 hours before you can report a missing person.
So I think the grandfather has an ancient artifact that they're trying to ship.
Okay.
You could be
that sounds
right,
good. That
but-
makes sense why they're at the docks for something.
But I like your reasoning that they're trying to use his ninja skills to pull off a heist. I like both of these.
I want these to be
options
movies.
to be
I
part
don't know
of
if
it.
they
Yeah.
are the movie.
Well, they got to fill 90 minutes somehow. in
yeah,
this movie.
yeah. I'm expecting there to be almost like a.
5 minutes has gone by.
Oh, I thought you were checking the
5
studio.
minutes.
5 full
5
minutes.
minutes have gone
We almost
by.
made it to 10 minutes, guys. Halfway there. Oh man.
Okay.
Oh.
I do like the idea that they go back home and then the grandfather gets kidnapped. But there's got to be like 2 main bad guys, right? There's got to be like
A
a
henchman of some kind?
main guy and then
like,
like
a mini
his
boss.
sidekick.
Yeah, like the mini boss.
Yeah, like one guy has a sweet ninja partner guy that he uses.
Yeah.
Like some sort of white
And I-
businessman has a sweet.
I bet
awesome
they
ninja
find
man.
out where their grandfather is, and they probably have to like ninja their way into that house or whatever, wherever they are, to find him. But maybe maybe Tum Tum gets caught.
No, they're together like the
No,
whole film.
I'm gonna
Oh.
make a
Sure.
guess. I'm gonna.
Sorry, I was just trying.
I'm gonna have a
I know,
guess
I like
where
I was just trying to transpose Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into this.
I'm gonna make a guess where they get into where their grandpa is in like the middle, and they're like, we're here to rescue, and he's like, no, I need you to go and save the artifact because they're gonna go try and take it. So then the kids have to go get the artifact, and
Okay.
then the bad guy's like, give me the artifact or your grandpa gets it. And then they
There's
have
a
like
wacky
the
scene
showdown.
where they're like throwing the artifact between each other.
Yes.
And like trying to.
It's like hot
gotta have
potato.
from hot potato the artifact away from the
While
the
ninja
bad
fighting.
guys.
Yep, that sounds plausible. That sounds like a thing that could happen.
Wow.
3 ninjas. There's sequels.
Yeah,
So-
There's
Yeah,
like
there's High Noon at Mega Mountain. That's the
Yeah.
3rd one with Hulk Hogan.
Right.
Oh man.
Which I've never seen, only in
I,
clips.
mean, I haven't seen it either.
And then 3 ninjas kick back.
Yeah, Kickback is.
Oh,
yeah,
I've seen
I saw
that one.
Kickback. I couldn't
What
tell you
happens
anymore
in
about that one.
Kickback?
Oh god.
Kick back. Maybe that can help us in this.
I think
movie.
there's 3 ninjas.
Well, if they kick back in the second one, they get kicked in this one.
Oh,
Right? That's gotta happen.
Yeah, I'll get kicked. That's yeah.
How good do you think these kids are going to be at karate?
Pretty good.
I mean, are they going to look good doing it
There's gonna be a
in
lot
this
of
movie?
There's gonna be a lot of
Stunt
hi-ya
karate.
poses. I bet.
Yeah. Basically, ninjas doing moves on themselves. like flipping over the kids.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I can't wait to see all the shots of like ninjas flipping like crosscut repeatedly.
this is the height of the ninja. This was the ninja boom right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
We had Power Rangers, we had Ninja Turtles, we had everything ninjas. We had samurais for a hot
You had
second.
Jackie Chan coming in and being
Jackie
pretty
Chan,
popular doing
Beverly Hills
ninja-like
Ninja,
moves.
Bruce Lee was getting huge on VHS. People were finding his
Yeah.
stuff out.
It was the kung fu craze.
Sidekicks was a movie. There's a bunch of weird 80s ninja films. American Ninja.
Oh God, that's
yeah.
that's the bad one, right? American Ninja.
Uh,
There's one out there that's really bad. There's a
it's not
classic
good.
scene on the internet where a guy gets a shuriken thrown into his chest and
Oh,
he
yeah.
pauses for a moment and then he dies in slow
It
motion.
could be that. It could be that.
I think it's American Ninja.
There was a lot of American ninjas.
Is this like Jean-Claude Van Damme time too? He's a
Oh yeah,
martial
absolutely.
arts, going
Bloodsport
Nazi
was like
Bloodsport, yeah.
'86, and he had a career through the '90s.
TNT had just gotten the rights to a bunch of movies, martial arts, and they were airing whatever they could.
Oh,
Oh man. Okay, we have nothing.
This is terrible. This is terrible.
They end up saving the day, and the old man does end up beating the bad guy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I have to believe.
I'm still standing by it being Victor Wong.
Ooh.
No.
Brad is so sure it's
Because
not.
he's a guy who's just like, he's like a really good martial artist. He's like a legitimate martial arts dude. Because he does stuff. He does stunts
I want to be
film.
proven wrong for sure. I want to.
I want
And
I want anything to be proven.
I
from us
want
watching the
anything
movie.
to be proven right.
I would love to come back and find out we were like surprisingly on the nose with the bits that we did guess at.
One of the kids is good at maybe like stealth.
Like, they each have a
hides.
specialty kind
They
of
each have
thing?
a specialty, and one's like good at disguising. I think he's a
Ooh.
bush or something, or like a pole or a tree.
Okay.
and like
It's like a master of disguise situation.
they each have like an ability.
Okay.
Other than Tum Tum because he's useless and just
He
farts all the time.
eats and farts. That's his
I mean, that's got to
ability.
come in handy at one point,
He's
right?
totally got a fart in the bad guy's face, and the bad guy's like, oh, like falls off something.
These
That's
little
gotta
kids
happen.
beat up a lot of adults.
Yeah.
For some reason, like the adults are incompetent in this film.
Wow. And they're ninjas, too.
Right.
Yeah, you think they'd be better?
I don't know if they even get like punched or kicked at all in the film because why would you? Well, you're not gonna punch a kid in this movie, right? You're not gonna.
I mean,
There's going to be a lot of
physically hurt a
blocking.
kid?
There's going to be a lot of blocking.
a lot of flips and a lot of blocking.
A lot of
a lot of
flips.
hayaing.
and like you
a lot
said,
of broken fake wooden boards.
Yep.
Getting smashed into each like people and someone falling in a river. Mm-hmm. Like, there's got like some sort of lot of goofy hijinks.
No Game Gear, though. No Rob Schneider.
No,
No,
sir.
no surfing.
Well, there might be some.
I think
surfing.
there's some surfing. I
Really?
bet there's some surfing and
could
some
be some surfing.
skateboarding.
I'm most excited to see, like, 90s
I feel like
California.
I don't know. For some reason, yeah, I feel like this is very like Venice Beach heavy, at least in the first half of this film.
There's
Like,
it's gonna be cut to opening scene, some guy lifting weights on the beach.
and they're coming out of the water in wetsuits with surfboards.
Yeah. People in overalls walking around.
A lot of neon colored shirts.
And striped shorts. I want to see particularly
Zubaz?
short black shorts with green stripes going vertical.
Okay.
Let's get a Lou Ferrigno cameo up in this movie.
That'd be the ultimate. Oh boy.
So,
I think they set up traps in the forest at some point too.
what kind of traps are we
Like
talking?
branches falling out and like nets and like things to capture bad
Yeah, I
guys.
can imagine
I think
nets.
you've both mentioned the forest. I don't remember the forest.
I
at all.
don't.
movie
I don't
takes
remember
place in
the
a
forest
forest.
either, but
That's all the training happens.
yes, I do remember the training kind of happens in
There's like a
his...
bridge that they train on, and
Oh,
Okay.
they probably have weapon. They each have like their own weapon. I bet.
Yeah, I bet they each have a weapon specialty in addition to like a skill specialty.
Yeah.
are they learning a lot about like the crane kick from like
I don't know if there's any.
Karate Kid?
I don't know if there's any specific payoff move that happens. I think the kids are just generically good at fighting.
Well,
Yeah, I was talking about hooks on pulleys earlier. Now I'm worried. I was just thinking of Karate Kid 2. Like, I feel like that happens in there. I don't know. This is gonna be weird. I'm looking forward to seeing this though.
I definitely think.
I I'm excited.
That's the Andy wrap up.
Yeah. We still have like 10 more minutes of the podcast to go, Andy.
Oh boy.
Brad, I'm gonna tell you, I don't think we have 10 more minutes in us.
How about one? We're almost at 20. We're almost at 20.
Wow. This is the
it feels like
this
just
is
a day ago we were at 5 minutes in.
yeah. This is the Stretchathon podcast.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember anything that happens in this freaking movie.
I'm just confusing it with other movies. I'm gonna say like a yo-yo is into play, or
That sounds good. Like Tum Tum throws a yo-yo
yeah,
and it
throws a
comes
bunch of
back, and
jacks.
We're only talking about Tum Tum.
Okay, he's the star of this movie. Okay, his brothers are just sort of like faceless guys
They're
that
the
to
same
defeat other
character.
ninjas. Yeah. Tum Tum was the star.
Yeah, I was the Tum Tum of our group. I think everybody was.
Everyone wanted to be Tum Tum.
Well, these brothers were like,
Well, they're always picking on him. They're always like,
no, they're
they're always like, Tum Tum.
okay,
Oh, yeah.
What did you
Oh,
do?
yeah.
now?
teasing for sure.
How many Tum Tum moments do you like? Tum Tum. 4.
But
Five,
all of these
6.
brothers are very supportive.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Tum Tum is on like their same level of like belt, I think.
Yes.
I think they're like he's
I was
somehow
like, you didn't start teaching the oldest kid first, and like you just were like, now that you're all alive, we can teach you all simultaneously.
Yeah, I think the movie has a conceit where they're all at equal level of karate. or
What belt would
ninja.
they be at? They wouldn't be like black belt already.
Maybe they're all 3 different colors because they're all different color belts. Maybe the red guy's a
the
red
white,
belt, and the
red,
white
white
guy's a
belt?
white belt. Yeah, maybe.
Blue belt.
Tom Tom's just learning.
Yeah, and apparently their grandpa sprung for like full colored gis for each of them each time.
Do the parents get involved at all?
No,
I wonder.
you can't have the parents involved.
I like the idea of the mom also knowing a little karate.
Ooh, that'd be really good at the end. If like right near the end, she like does a move, and all the guys are like, "Whoa, mom!"
What do you think? What do you think your grandfather only touched you?
Oh, that's gotta happen.
Yeah,
That's
I
gotta
can see
happen.
it happening right now.
Maybe
can
they,
visualize it.
unless they saved it for kickback. You know,
Maybe.
who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I hope that happens.
Maybe
feel
all three
like-
of them are adopted. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, that could be.
Maybe the grandfather was adopted.
Maybe that's why they trained them all at the same time. They adopted all 3 at once.
Maybe the grandfather's white and we just have no idea.
No, it's Victor Wong. We already established that, Brad.
No, I was just kidding. Their grandfather's actually Nick Nolte.
I'd watch that movie. They need to do that one right now.
Yeah.
Are we ready to call it?
I think we're ready to call it at 20
I'm
minutes
trying
of
to grab
nonsense.
something.
I've
There's got
got
to be an
nothing.
explosion at the dock. Those barrels got to blow up at some point. Maybe. No
That
idea.
was, oh boy.
Someone goes in the water. The police show up at the end after everything's all wrapped up. Classic movie things. Oh, boy.
You know what? America. Let's call it.
Time of death.
Join us in part 2 while we watch Three Ninjas for the probably like one of the first times since we saw it when we were little kids.
Yeah. We're gonna learn a lot.
We will bring you some good material, part 2.
I just got a ship in the harbor.
I know. Berth 6.
How did you know? I'm a ninja. I could hardly follow him.
Simple. We followed you.
Okay. In Snyder's heart, he's still a ninja. It'll take a ninja to break him.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Ay podcast.
It sounds like Power Rangers.
I was gonna say that's like alpha right
So yeah, Twitch was running Power Rangers all day, so it was a kind of a mix of Three Ninjas and Power Rangers.
They did say, "Ay, like literally after every move.
You can't do
Yep.
karate unless you say "ay."
They were saying it even when they weren't doing moves.
Yeah.
They would say when they're getting ready for a move, they'd just be like, "Hi-ya!" and then they'd do something and also do another hi-ya once they did it. It was
Director's
felt
note: make sure you say
obligated.
"ay."
Yeah, they felt obligated to
Oh,
say
man.
"Aya" as much as possible.
So Victor Wong is in this movie.
Yep.
Yep.
But in my defense, his stunt doubles in about 3 times as many scenes as he is.
Well, he looked like he was too old for the part.
Oh,
so
man,
I
yeah.
agree with you. His stunt double needed to be there for his own personal safety as an elderly man.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, as a kid, I remember him doing a lot of stunts, and I was like, "There's no way Victor Wong can do these stunts."
I mean, it looked like he was maybe, sort of doing those stunts.
None of them.
To
He got up
you
off
know,
the ground one time in the movie, and that was his biggest stunt.
Oh boy.
The only thing that was stunted was his growth because he's a short guy. Got him.
So we didn't remember much of this.
How did
but
they wait? But how did they find a stunt double for Victor
They
Wong?
just got anybody off the
anybody.
street and put a fat belly suit on him.
Yep.
And then put his outfit on and had him go.
Not a problem.
Okay.
After watching this, I'm not surprised I don't remember
Well,
this movie.
all the ninjas have like really weird glasses. I think they're just like to reuse actors, I'm guessing. So you just kind of can't see their face that well.
There was literally 3 scenes in this movie.
Three
Yeah.
sets, yeah.
We got 3 sets.
Yeah.
And then there's some exteriors.
Sure.
But yeah, only 3 interior sets.
Yeah, basic. It was. They were working with that structure.
This movie this movie's only like 90 minutes, and it felt like 20 minutes in, I was like, I feel like I've been here for 2 hours.
I had the exact same feeling, and I did something that I've never done before. I sped the movie up times 2, and it was way better.
Oh my gosh.
I was able to get through it. And the people were actually talking at a normal space, like a normal speed, a normal pace, like my speed
Yeah.
pace. But when I didn't notice it until you speed it up 2 times, you don't realize how slow everybody is talking.
Everything about this movie
man.
is slow. Every fight
Well,
scene
that
is
was
3 times
smart.
longer than it needs to be.
I fell asleep actually, and then had
I'm
to,
not surprised.
I was watching it, and I fell asleep, and then had to watch the rest of it the next morning
Oh my.
and figure out where I left off.
That's the
And
worst.
I didn't really care where I left off exactly.
Right.
I got through
It
my
didn't
one.
matter, 'cause-
I got through my one playthrough, and I was like, "Thank God I don't have to watch this again."
Yeah, there's one scene in the beginning, a Home Alone thing in the
Yeah, a
middle,
huge
Yeah.
Home Alone
and
bit.
then a weird thing at the end. That's all
I
there
felt
is
like
to the movie.
nothing. The plot in this movie, nothing progressed in the plot of this movie until like I'd say like 60 minutes into this movie. Like the whole first 60 minutes is like they're at the same point in the plot. It's just establishing more things.
So the grandpa hates the fact that the dad is like ignoring the kids, I guess, and that's like a through line in the movie that the dad has to.
He
comes
has to
through at
work
the
a
end.
lot. Yeah. I mean, he's an FBI agent, which we didn't mention the dad at all in part 1.
We thought he was dead, or we didn't know
Something
what was
like
going
that,
on with
yeah.
him.
But he's an FBI agent, so he's very busy. I don't fault him for having to, be away. It's like it's his job.
So he's setting up a sting operation to catch some sweet guy in a white suit and a
Yeah.
ponytail.
It's like it was that the villain in this movie is like the perfect mix of I feel like discount Steven Seagal and
Yeah.
discount
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
This was his only big
Sure.
movie. He did something else in '98.
Yes, I looked that up. He only has
He was like an
2
extra.
movies.
Yeah, and he cannot act, so he can barely
Well-
speak.
Well, you're looking good. You passed my little test, partner.
Snyder, the only mistake I ever made was being partners with you.
Your mistake was quitting. I made a fortune on those karate studios.
Blood money.
Come on. You're living in this junky place. You obviously can't find many students. I mean, look at these 3 runs.
I would say just about everybody in this movie couldn't act, except
Victor
Victor
Wong?
Wong. Hey,
Watch your mouth.
you ain't Wong.
You
you
watch
ain't
what
right.
you're about to say.
You ain't Wong. You ain't right.
Oh, okay. Can we also acknowledge that I feel that this movie just skipped the opening of the movie?
Yes.
It's just
It
like we
starts
don't
with a
need an
5-minute
opening.
monologue piece of them describing their lives and how their grandpa trains them to be ninjas.
When it started the narration at the beginning, I was like, "Oh God, we're in for a long movie." I was upset from like minute 1 when it's like, "We would spend our summers with our ninja grandpa," and I'm like, "Oh my God, this."
Last summer looked like another great summer with our grandfather. Me and my brothers and I. Whatever. We spent most of our time training to be ninja masters at our grandpa's cabin.
Yeah, most kids are at some stupid camp. My 2 younger brothers and I studied with our Japanese grandfather.
Most mornings began the same way. He'd wake us up with a different test, which I was always ready for.
So was I.
So was I. Yeah, right.
I felt like the narration was picking us up on something that we never even experienced in the first place. It was like, here's where we left off of nothing.
Right. They're right in the middle of their training when the movie starts. It's like, what about all the stuff before this?
And it's like,
How did you get
and
to
it's
the
not
point?
like we needed the information urgently. Like when they leave their grandpas eventually, like they spend their summer at their grandpa's, and then they go home, and the dad immediately asks, "How was your summer with grandpa?" So we know, oh, they spent the whole summer there. We didn't need this whole establishing monologue.
No.
Oh my god. And I was bugged by the fact that all three of them were the narrator together.
Yeah, that was confusing.
I was like, why? Why are they narrating
man.
the story together? To who?
I don't know.
I mean, if you have three narrators, then that would imply that they're telling a story to someone in particular.
Yeah, did this like happen in the past and they're just like explaining it to us?
I'm like wondering if
And that was that crazy summer where our grandpa fought a ninja on a boat.
I'm like, I know apparently they shot this movie and Three Ninjas Knuckle Up simultaneously. Like they shot
Are
this
you serious?
Yeah, they shot it simultaneously, even though Knuckle Up was the third Three Ninjas film released.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
They shot these two simultaneously, so I'm like, maybe the director himself couldn't remember which movie was which, so he's like, put a narration in here so I know which one I'm watching at first.
It's the Lord of the Rings of a ninja.
Why would
movie.
he shoot two movies at the same time? You don't even know if the
he
first
shot,
one's
yeah, he
gonna
shot
be
two at
what-
the same
like,
time.
good.
Then he shot Kickback, and only one actor from the original movie came back for Kickback. So I'm like, if I watched all three of these in sequence in the release order, I'd be very confused.
Wow.
Yeah, I know that was like heavily re-edited because the movie was later bought by Disney.
I was
That's what it
wondering
said.
if you did you watch it on DVD?
There was no commentary. There was nothing in the.
I'm just curious
There's no
because
special
apparently,
features.
like the international version of this movie and the home U.S. video release version are different, significantly different.
Yeah, I watched
films.
the DVD.
So when we get to bits, I'm going to ask you how it played out.
Okay.
But we can start at the training at Grandpa's.
Okay. So the training starts at Grandpa's.
they
He's
they
just
fight
got-
in a forest, which was what I remember from the first
Yeah,
part.
he's
I was so
just like some
fixated
cabin in
on
the
this
woods
thing.
kind of thing.
Yeah, he's got a sweet cabin in the
Sweet
woods.
cabin in the woods.
And he's got like a nice training session. So the grandpa, I guess, used to train ninjas. Mm-hmm. And he trained them for the villain at some point in the movie.
Yeah.
And the villain is coming back to get him to do it again because
Yes.
his ninjas suck.
His ninjas do suck.
Here's the okay. So Victor Wong trained that guy. Who
Yeah,
now has his own
Maybe.
ninjas.
Did he train that guy specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
The villain is a guy. Yeah, that's like
I
they
thought
had
he
the
only-
photo
Yeah, I think
together.
they said
and
that.
They were just best buds.
Yeah,
Okay.
they used to be buddies.
Yeah,
and
he
trained
trained him, but
He turned evil.
why can't he just train the ninjas? Like he's not a good.
He's
trainer?
not a good. He's not a good teacher.
No,
Look,
he is awful. He is making the worst decisions throughout the film. Let's go kidnap these kids. Get two people to kidnap these. And then they get this guy's...
They get the guy's cousins.
yeah,
Yeah.
His
It's
cousin
California
is two
high
friends.
bros.
get the understudies from Wayne's World to go
Right.
kidnap
And then
these
they
three
all
guys.
they end up ultimately just getting them anyway without those three guys. So like, what was the point?
This guy makes terrible business decisions. Oh boy.
So he's trying to sell a rocket launcher, like a RPG. That's what he like has.
That's what he is selling to the FBI in the beginning when there's like a
There's
sting.
a sting operation. The guy breaks open a box with his elbow to prove how sweet he is at karate.
Yep.
And just pulls out an RPG.
And I think was the undercover guy that was talking to the villain. Was that the dad? I don't remember if I was.
The undercover guy was like some weird dude in a mustache.
because he was terrible at his job. He's
Yeah.
just standing there and he's like, "Thanks for showing me the missiles. I'm the FBI," and then
I thought it was
continues
like a
to
Super
stand
Troopers
right there.
joke. I
Like,
didn't understand.
what are you doing?
Yeah, and didn't like no backup showed up like.
I
for
mean,
a
they
little bit?
rolled in, but they were like 30 feet behind him, and he's just standing there with his badge in his hand, like, "Gotcha!" And I'm like, how?
At this point, I already forgot how he got away. Did he just like kick him or
So
something?
the bad guy grabs the FBI agent
Right,
and
holds
is
him
like holding him
hostage.
hostage and then runs away and Kung Fu's like 8 other FBI guys along the way.
Yep, and then he even thinks that the money is real.
Yeah.
He stops to check it.
It's-
Why would he think it would be real?
I also
the
love
FBI plays with real money.
I love the like point counterpoint of this sting because the one guy's like, "Joke's on you, I'm the FBI," and then all the FBI agents roll in, and then the villain guy's like, "Joke's on you, I've got ninjas," and then all these ninjas drop down behind all the FBI guys that just showed up.
Yeah.
And then they have like a big battle.
But the FBI guys have guns and they never use them. They just for pointing. Guns
Yeah.
for pointing in this movie.
yeah.
Well, except for when like the dad busts out on the roof and shoots at the
Yeah.
helicopter 10 times with a revolver, which was real hilarious.
Yeah, so the villain in the sweet white suit escapes via helicopter.
Yeah.
Batman-style
that was
Joker
so
hanging from a
scary.
ladder.
So during this chase scene, apparently is one of the scenes that's different in the international version that Disney edited out, which was like at one point the bad guy gets caught in like a stairwell by 2 FBI agents who are like freeze, and he freezes, and then they go up to cuff him, and then he just beats them up and runs to the roof. I don't understand why this was cut from the U.S. version, except that I also remember that this movie felt like a million years long, so I wish it had been cut in my version. So yeah, he gets away, and that's when the dad like comes home, and the kids come home at the same time.
Yeah, but they get sweet masks. I forgot about that.
Oh
I remember
yeah,
that being
they get their
exciting.
ninja names, which we remembered from the,
we forgot
in the beginning.
Colt. We had
Colt.
Rocky
Yeah, we
and
weren't
Tum
sure.
Tum.
Tum Tum was surprisingly competent. I expected him
Me
to be
too.
more
I thought he
comic
was gonna
relief,
be
but he was a good
fumbling around.
ninja. He just also happens to eat a lot.
Good
Yeah.
ninja.
He's not even that fat. I thought he was like a tubby guy.
Compared to the bad guys ninjas, he's a good ninja.
There were some scenes where he was like choking down some food, and I was like, he's gonna
He's
die.
got a problem.
He's
He's
gonna swallow.
always got a Twizzler in his mouth,
was
or he's chewing on
disgusting.
jelly beans.
Yeah.
He had this oral fixation. It was gross. It was gross.
It's pretty out there. They all get home. Like, I guess they live in like some subdivision.
Well, is that before or
California.
after the villain comes to the
Oh
house?
yeah, so the villain
The villain does come to the house, and
while the kids are there.
So Victor Wong and the kids have to fight off some ninjas. And that's when we learn a little bit of the story.
Yeah,
and that's also when we learn that Victor Wong worked for him at some point.
Yep.
So he was a villain. He
And
was
I-
a bad guy.
No, I think he
guess?
just trained ninjas, and the guy was like, "You train."
And they used him for evil without him knowing. Do you think?
possibly.
Possibly.
That's. I mean, you have to make. That
I also
leap
thought the
yourself,
bad guy
but-
made a bad point because he rolls up and he's like, "Look at you now. You used to train the best ninjas. Now you live in this crummy place." And I was like,
Training
"That
kids."
cabin was pretty cool. He had his
Yeah.
own little bridge and pagoda thing, and they the
Also,
cool
if you're gonna
kung
ask
fu
someone
camp.
for a favor, don't come
trash
at
their
them.
house. Yeah,
Also, the ninjas just like disappear once they get beaten.
Yeah.
Like a video game, they just aren't there anymore.
they come out like full on with swords out and fight the 3 kids immediately. Like these
Yeah.
ninjas are like, "We're ready to go." And there's 3 children here. We weren't told about this, but I'm ready to kill them. And then they all get progressively punched in the groin enough.
I'm only harping on the scene because it comes up later when one of the villain has a henchman. He's like, "Why didn't you capture the kids back when you entered the house?" And the villain's like,
Mr. Brown, I want you to snatch those 3 little kids and hold them as insurance until the deal with Colonel Burke is done, huh? Douglas doesn't dare touch me if I've got his kids.
You should have grabbed him when you were up at the cabin. Oh! But I guess you knew that already.
"Shut up! I didn't think of that, you jerk. Why weren't you there?" But he's just like makes fun of him.
Yes, it was really funny.
Well, I didn't. No, I didn't. Think.
Oh man.
So it's like they figured out like a plot hole and tried to just patch it up. Put some stucco on that plot hole.
Oh man.
Oh,
so
my
yeah,
God.
the villain asks him, he's like, "Hey, train my ninjas," and Grandpa's like, "No." And the bad guy's like, "Okay, fine." And just leaves.
That's it. That's the end of it. Now they're back at.
He was just like, "This is not the end of this
Yeah.
conversation," or something. I don't know, something silly or stupid.
Mm-hmm. He just leaves in his
just
limo.
just leaves. Yep.
So then they do go back home.
And this guy's like a wanted felon. If right now, like the Victor Wong could be like, "Just wait a second, I gotta use the phone. Call any police officer to come arrest him."
Yeah.
I mean, there's visual confirmation that this guy is a villain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just made trying to make a deal with the FBI.
And like the grandpa seems very aware that he does evil stuff now,
Right.
because the grandpa's like, "No, you're a terrible person. I'm not training ninjas for you for a ninja army that I'm." He is probably fine. It's
Yeah.
probably fine that you're making a ninja army.
Neither of them
I'm not
do
alarmed.
the thing they're supposed to be doing in the scene. He doesn't fight him, and then he doesn't get the kids.
Yeah.
The villain doesn't get the kids. Victor Wong just lets that
It was
guy
like a
go.
standstill, and then they ended with saying, "All right, agree to disagree."
Yeah, what was the opposite of a standoff? It was a stand-on. It was a sit-on.
Yeah.
They sat on that scene.
Oh,
It was a
man.
sit down. It
Yeah,
wasn't
sit-in, yeah.
It wasn't a standoff. It was a sit down.
Oh.
Yeah, they go back home, and then
And we're immediately introduced to the love interest,
yeah,
Emily.
Emily.
Yeah.
She
is-
sees them driving by,
Yeah.
and they all make fun of
Rocky.
Rocky because he has a crush on Emily.
Rocky loves Emily.
Rocky loves Emily.
That's true.
Rocky loves Emily.
That's what they should have called this movie. Rocky Loves Emily.
And he kind of liked Emily. He liked
Yeah,
her.
Oh,
he
yeah, he
did.
was into
Getting
Emily.
I mean, that was the time you just got teased for liking girls. Like, you weren't... Like, even though
Yeah.
deep in your heart, you're like, oh, I think girls are pretty cool. Maybe they're pretty
You couldn't.
cute.
You couldn't.
You could
admit
never say
that
it.
you liked girls.
Until, like, 6th or 7th grade.
I
mean,
remember.
that,
If
yeah.
you're in elementary school, you cannot do it.
You
Yeah,
can't
I
like
remember.
girls. They got cooties.
I still remember in 5th grade, someone came up to me and was like, "You like this girl," and I did like her, and I remember vehemently going, "No, I don't.
You are a dirty liar.
You're a lie. Stop spreading lies about me. This is fake news from the fake media."
I am a boys only kind of boy.
But don't take that out of context. Those are my words, not yours. So he's talking with Emily on a soup can phone.
Yeah, they have a little
They have a
connection.
cool soup can.
So she lives
phone.
like right next door,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. And they got
She's
a sweet
she's
room,
like a
too.
part of the family. Like she
It
walks
seems
in
like
the
it.
house in the morning, like, oh hey, morning.
You don't see her
everybody,"
parents.
and
And
nope,
like,
never see her parents.
The 3 ninjas' parents are taking care of them. And the mom isn't Asian, so what is going on
yeah,
here?
okay.
Well, I disagree. I think the mom had
What?
some Asian to her.
Oh, boy.
I don't think you could say that.
It should have been a beautiful Asian
Don't
lady.
edit
It
this.
should have.
And it was some white girl with brown brunette hair.
Okay, here's the thing. She was definitely white, but I think she looks somewhat Asian. But I'm also thinking that it's possible the production just like decided to make her look kind of Asian.
Like, I think you're just seeing what you wanted
Yeah,
to see.
I did
Andy.
not see Asian
I didn't
at
see it
all.
at all.
I saw it.
Sorry, bro.
I'm gonna look this person up.
I needed a throwaway line that she was adopted or something.
Right, and nothing. They gave you nothing. They were
Yep.
just like, no, it's totally.
Well, because Victor Wong was married to a white woman,
yeah.
so
So none of the Asian descent went
she,
through.
you know,
It diluted
I disagree with you guys.
Oh man. So
I'm gonna look it up.
I believe you. Anyway,
The
though.
actress is very white.
So this is kind of when we were introduced the idea that like the
Did we
dad
mention
is...
the dad hates karate? He hates it.
Yeah, he does not
Oh my
think the kids need to
jeez.
know how to be ninjas.
He's vehemently against them training in karate, even though his kids are probably like the best at it of
Yeah.
all time.
They're really good. I feel like if they were like at like a local dojo and bringing home trophies, he'd have been cool with it. But
Right.
instead, it's just like, oh, the crazy grandpa guy with my kids. Not about it.
So he's never in the picture. He's like leaving to follow this white suit ponytail boy.
Yeah, he's all about chasing the
Guy.
main bad guy of the film.
Snyder? Is that was his name?
I think that was it.
I don't know.
The guy who makes the pretzels.
Yep. What? Hanover.
Which is funny because like their dad has clearly been working this case for a long time, and it takes the kids like now we're into this film to connect the dots on that by seeing a picture in his office.
I think I was wrong.
You know, it's a what we remember first. Andy Moldenhauer is wrong. For the first time, last time, and only time.
I mean, it's not my fault they tried to make her look Asian.
Way to defend it. You're gonna just
Oh,
die
man.
on that sword, aren't you?
I mean, if
Oh,
there's any
boy.
sword to die on, it's not,
Oh,
it's
no.
not this one.
So we have so this is the home life segment where we get to see the kids in their existing going to school.
Yeah, they got a sweet room. They got like a double bunk bed.
I'm kind of
and like
confused. They have like a really big house in a nice subdivision, and they all share one room, which I was.
Well, it's a big room.
They are renovating one of the other rooms, so maybe that's like another
Were
one of
they?
their rooms. Yeah, like the paint room.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, another movie with paint in it and basketball.
Oh, God.
That was basically the same room from Airbud.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
have
so-
they're playing Super Mario Bros. 3 in there,
Yep.
too. That's pretty sweet.
I thought that was pretty
As
cool,
a kid, you're
actually.
like, what's that? What are they playing over there? Oh.
Like,
I
oh,
wish I was there.
I wish I had my
that.
own TV in my room with
Oh,
Super
they,
Mario
they
3
got
on it.
ninjas on their walls? Oh, that's pretty sweet. I mean,
They got the cool tin can phone on an articulating arm, and
oh, that looks pretty nice.
Do you think they'd be friends with me?
Probably not.
no, I don't think so. They're too cool for
Yeah.
that.
So they get into a fight with a couple bullies at school.
They get into a knot fight because they don't want to use their kung fu for good.
Is the basketball scene?
This is the basketball scene.
So before that, the stoner guys who are robbing a liquor
They're
store
robbing a liquor store.
in a kids movie
So
One of the there's 3 surfer hippie guys,
I wasn't sure if this movie
and they
came
pull
out.
a gun on a sales clerk.
Yeah, they're not even.
And it's
they don't
like-
apologize. They have no remorse.
I was taken aback.
Open up the cash register. That's right, dude. Us 3 boneheads are sticking you up. Now open up that register, or I have to get nasty.
This
Like,
movie came
whoa.
out the same year as Wayne's World, and I couldn't tell if these guys were trying to like do a Wayne's World
I think they
impression,
were.
or if they were just trying to like do generic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles California guy
I
impression.
saw Bill and Ted.
A
I saw a lot of
mixture.
Bill and Ted happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's where I went.
but these guys, I don't know how I don't remember them because they
Yeah.
are ridiculous.
They're so silly.
I guess in the international version, like when he's talking to the clerk with the gun on him, he like shoots a bunch of bottles behind him, like a bunch of liquor bottles, which is edited out. So I don't know if you saw that.
No,
Brad.
I didn't.
Okay,
That's
so
fine.
it is
we
confirmed.
probably
Yeah.
saw the same version.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the international one. Like I only
I-
found out later that all this stuff happened.
Brad and I saw the same one.
Yes.
Oh, we saw the same one.
So they rob the place, but then they're told that they need to go kidnap.
Yeah,
That's
so,
three ninjas.
So Discount Steven Seagal has his accountant who's like the most stereotypical money guy.
That guy is an idiot.
Yeah,
the
he's
entire
terrible.
movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, he seems vaguely Jewish, so I guess that's why he hired him. Like, he seems like the stereotypical role to put in this
Wow.
movie. I thought it was.
First
Right,
Andy,
listen.
now you.
I was like, if there's gonna be some racism, at least
Look,
there's.
I want to be racist in this
I think
movie
this
too.
movie was doing that deliberately, and I was not okay with it.
Yeah. Okay. My Asian argument still
Oh, you can
stands.
just stop bringing that up.
But this guy's like,
move past that.
the bad guy's like finally like, okay, maybe I should just kidnap the kids and then the grandpa will do what I want. And the young guy's like, I know the perfect people for this. My nephew and his 2 idiot friends.
I know the perfect people. I get the best people to work for me. It's gonna be huge.
Nobody gets better
It's gonna be
people.
so big.
So
Everyone says I got the best people.
So he pages the nephew while he's robbing the liquor store and tells him
'cause
about this job.
It was so. This movie is 90s.
Oh, so
galore.
90s.
Oh boy.
Because then he asks the clerk, "Hey, can I use your phone?" Like as he's robbing him.
Then do they immediately go to the house?
Yes.
To
And they find out there's
kidnap
there's too many FBI.
They get there
agents
right
around
when
house.
the dad comes home with all his FBI buddies.
Yes, but let's start at the beginning where I think the parents go out on a date and they're being like babysat.
Well, this is
That's
before
after.
that. This is before that. This is when
Yeah.
they first go to the house to case it, and they see all the
Got
FBI guys
it.
come with the
Yep.
dad, and they call like the nephew calls his uncle back and is like, you didn't tell us this
Yeah.
was like FBI Central."
And they rear end a police car because they're chasing the kids down.
Yes, that's right.
Down. The kids are going through this like sweet junkyard doing sweet
It was
BMX
very-
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, on their
E.T.
cool.
And these 3 guys are in a van, like Top Gun style, cruising next to them.
Yep.
Just watching it all happen.
Yeah.
And they back into a police car. Or they rear end a police car.
That was a genuinely funny scene, I thought.
Yeah. and at this point, they had all left. Emily was with them, but she didn't want to go in the creepy junkyard with her bike.
Yeah.
So she runs into the bullies and gets her bike stolen.
Yep.
And like
Yep.
a typical woman needs a man to bail her out.
Here it comes, Andy.
All
All
right,
right,
it is.
all 3 of us. All 3 of us are
Go
in this
for it,
one.
Brad. Go
All
for
3 of
it.
us are in this one. I like it. I'm not feeling left out. Okay, we're all.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets her bike stolen, and then they roll up, and they just watch the bullies walk away with the bike
Yep.
and don't do anything.
And she's all pissy at him. Oh, you had
had to show off.
You had to be the big shot, did ya?
she's
had
real-
To be the dude. Had to take it on the line. Exact lyrics from the movie.
Oh, she's-
had to be a big.
She is so upset about the idea of
Don't come
showing
and ID
off
this.
for anything. Like, she constantly berates them for it.
She just wants him to be like a trophy, like a trophy husband.
I guess.
Yeah, she just wants to tuck him up and put her in her pocket.
So they go to school.
The pronouns there were a little off, but
I have to believe with how accomplished they are at their ninja skills that they've been training this way for a long time, and yet these bullies are totally unaware of the fact that they have these ninja skills, it seems.
Right.
because they never use them.
Well, they do. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, these
Never
bullies
use 'em.
have no problem coming up to these guys like at school and being like, "Hey, we're bullies and we're bullying you right now."
And these kids are dressed like head to toe in like FUBA gear.
My absolute favorite.
Yes.
When they do the basketball
Fubu gear.
confrontation scene, there's like 6 of them in a line, and the guy on the far right wearing like a 90s Chicago Bulls leather coat does the best cross arms like sideways hat pose, and it felt so 90s, and I loved it.
And there's like a girl bully too, like in the corner of the movie. I don't know if you saw
I
it or
didn't
not.
see
It's
that.
like, oh, they have a girl bully too. That's neat.
They're like, don't
Progressive.
give her enough
Yeah.
screen time, though.
No, don't cut her off the end of the frame. Don't tell her.
We don't want people to know she's a girl.
Oh man,
So they play them in basketball.
they challenged them to a game of
And
basketball.
it's probably the worst.
Basketball. Or bears. Okay, go ahead.
Berenstein Bears.
Berenstein Bear Ball.
Berenstein Bears.
Berenstein Bear Ball.
So they challenged him to like a game, like a 2-on-2 game for like the 2 lead bullies and Rocky and Colt.
But there's a lot of problems. First, they let them make all the stakes and all the
Yeah, and the
they
bullies-
escalate everything. They call
Yeah.
the game. They say how many points it's to.
Mm-hmm.
They say how many, so many different things. They set who gets what when they win.
Yeah, they're like, if we win, we get your bikes. If you win, you get nothing.
Yeah, the 3 ninjas like, yeah, that's fine, whatever.
They
then-
also
Okay.
gave him like 9
Yeah, then
points.
the ninjas are like,
That's
we'll
the-
give you the
that's-
9-point
That's
head
another
start.
thing too. What does that even do for anybody?
Yeah, they could have just won. Regular.
Yeah, if they
They just played a real game.
apparently
They didn't
did they
need to-
win in your version of the movie?
Yeah.
In my version, they lost.
Yeah,
Which-
I read
which
that they
was
lost,
weird.
and then at the end they had a callback.
Yes,
to it.
they do, and I thought this was weird because when I was reading it, I was like, "What? I want to watch the other version now," but at the same time, I never want to
Now
revisit this movie.
I'll
so.
revisit that scene just to see what was up.
Wait a second.
So in our version, they won the basketball game.
okay, I think I watched Andy's version.
In my version, they play.
They definitely lost.
They tie it up 9-9 because they gave the bullies a 9-point head start, and the bullies get no points. And then the bullies just start shoving them and beating them up while they're playing.
They
and
get
the
a
bullies
point at
get
the
one
yeah.
basket at the end,
Oh.
win, and take their bikes.
Yep. That's what I saw.
That doesn't happen in my movie.
That's
They,
weird.
in your movie, they win and just nothing happens.
Well, Rocky does a sweet slam dunk.
What? Oh,
That
okay, that
doesn't-
does happen.
wait.
That happened.
That happened. He did a full
What?
Michael Jordan across the court slam dunk.
He jumps about 20 feet
Yep.
in the air in the full length of the court and dunks it.
That does happen, but that was
How?
not the winning basket in my movie.
That game over in my movie.
I mean, in ours it was just like a jump shot or a layup or something.
No,
It
he
was-
definitely does like a Michael Jordan style super long dunk.
And that's 0.9 or
And that's like that's 0.9 to tie it up, and that's
Okay.
when the bullies like get
Okay.
like real physical and just knock them down and then win, and they're like, yeah, we showed them, aha, and walk off. So that at the end of the movie, none of them have bikes except Tum Tum because he wasn't in on the bed. It was just the older two.
And then what? They just get their bikes back, or do they just never?
They
They
then
get 'em
they fight the
They
bullies
fight
with their
them-
actual fighting moves and
Yeah.
kick their butts and take their bikes back, plus all the bullies' bikes. So they come out on top. They make a profit in the end.
Wait, they took the bullies' bikes too?
No, they didn't. They just left
Okay.
him in the middle of the street.
Jackie
but-
Chan can beat kids up in 2007, but these kids can't beat up other kids in 92.
They do it at the end
What's
of the
the
film.
deal?
Yeah, apparently Disney felt that was not okay.
Yeah, they just ended up fighting one of the bullies.
Yeah,
and then the other
basically.
bullies just stood around and watched the fight happen, and then they were like,
They're like, wow, we don't
all
want to mess
right,
with them.
we can't fight like that. Like, we're out of here. We're going to leave all of our bikes.
That's that weird. They all jump off their bikes and run away. I'm like, okay, if I'm trying to get away quick, I'm staying on that bike and I'm pedaling my way away. I don't know what the
Yeah.
problem is.
I'm not going to take your bike now.
And what kind of like bike currency is going on in this?
I
town?
also thought it was
We're
really
just
funny.
exchanging
Yeah,
bikes for things.
I thought it was
Yeah.
really funny that at the end too, when the bullies come back, one of them is riding Emily's bike from the beginning, and I was like,
Yep.
that bully had his own nice BMX bike, and he swapped it out for this pink and white girl's bike,
He wanted
and was
it.
like totally chill with it.
There was that line where he said he wanted to get it for his sister. He secretly wanted
he wanted
it,
it
for
himself because he's
Yeah,
where
he was
he
the one
wrote
writing
that
it.
there at the
He's
end
like,
of the
well,
movie.
my sister is too young, so I got to write it in
Like,
for her.
Biff, you don't even have a sister. Shut up, man.
Shut up, I like the bike.
I really like it. It's nice. It's got flowers on it. It's pink and purple.
Oh man. So this is when we get to the babysitter back home after they leave
Yes.
school that day.
Why did they have a
Yeah.
babysitter in this movie at all?
They didn't. I felt like
character-
they could. Those
That
kids could take care of
served
No
themselves.
purpose.
Could you please describe the look of the babysitter for me, Andy?
Yes.
Yeah, she looked like
She looked like a Mother Goose.
Yeah. Hey, you're not wrong.
She looked like a Mother Goose. She's wearing like a muumuu. She's got a hairnet on. She's got big glasses.
She also had like this weird frown on her face the entire time. Her face was drooping.
She's
off
so
of
yeah.
her
She
head.
always has a permanent scowl on her face, and apparently it's just the worst.
She didn't even have a line.
No,
She had no
she
lines.
sort of makes some noises like grunts and stuff, but that's it.
after she's in the closet after that scene.
Yeah.
She does say we didn't order any pizza.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
There has to be pizza in this movie. There had to be. It was a given.
And that pizza looked
awful.
gross.
It looked real bad.
I apparently looked away at the point when the Wayne's World guys apparently mugged like the pizza delivery guy and like stole his uniform and the pizza. When they got up to the door, I was like, "Where did the pizza even come from?" I was watching it with James Phillips, prior guest star. And he had to explain to me that they'd done this, and I was like, you know what? I believe that 100% that this happened in the movie. This movie's already ridiculous. Why not mug a pizza guy?
Yeah, so through a bunch of like fisheye lenses, so the peephole, the babysitter is looking at these three dudes who are delivering the pizza. She opens the door, and they immediately just dump
guns.
the pizza into her face. Just face plants her in that pizza. And they also have guns.
Yeah, they immediately just pull out their guns.
But they just dump that pizza right in that poor lady's face.
Yep.
And throw her in the closet.
Face full of that terrible
And
pizza.
This movie is so funny because it tries to play out a Home Alone sequence.
It tries. They even reference it with the guy smacking his cheeks.
Yes.
They
Colt does that.
This Home Alone sequence
so
is like
forced.
30 minutes
It
long.
is so forced.
It is literally like the middle second act, like half of the second act.
It's longer than the
so long.
climax fight.
But it's funny because in Home Alone, he's in a house that is very large and has 2 floors and a basement. This one, they're all on one floor. They're all on the same level. So how are they leaving rooms and entering other rooms and getting around secretively on a one level
Did the
house?
upstairs lead to the garage? I'm just now thinking that. Or was that the room where they were painting?
That's
That
the
was
room
the
they were
painting.
painting.
It felt like a garage.
It's a really big room, but yeah, there's like a room at the end of the hall that's being renovated.
Oh, boy.
So they basically just hide around in... They freak out in their bedroom because they know that, like...
They see the guys
there are
like put the
people roaming
babysitter in the closet with guns, and so they're like, oh boy, time to use our ninja training to
They just do a
and
bunch
rubber
of
bands
really
to
ineffective traps.
Yeah. They spend 30 minutes like home aloneing these guys, and like as much punishment as the bad guys take, it never seems to really affect them more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the punishments were. So
I know just the one guy gets like tied up at the end on a banister, and that's all I can really remember.
So he almost dies.
Yeah.
That guy like for sure was about to die. First they
There's some oil or Vaseline
they trick them
or something?
into the room that they're renovating.
Yeah.
And like Rocky was in there and spray painted his mask
Colt
white.
was.
Oh, Colt. So he could blend in with the rest of the sheets in the room.
Yep.
And like beats on them for a little while they can't figure out where he is.
He beats them off in that room.
Oh yeah.
After the
And
door's
there's-
locked.
The white's everywhere. White is
Oh,
everywhere.
boy.
Yeah, and they bungee the doors when they leave. And so then Colt leaves, and then they cut the bungee while the bad guys are trying to open it, so they all fall backwards, and it's hilarious.
Yep, it was very funny. They also drink some like water
that's what I'm
laxative
thinking
with
of.
laxative
Coke,
in it.
yeah, the Coke
Yeah,
with the
the
laxative.
pizza guy had like a soda, and
Yep.
then they put a laxative.
And this
in
is
it.
after they
And the
had
bad
Tum
guys
Tum
drink it for
spend
whatever
an
reason.
hour making spice bombs, like with coffee filters and rubber bands. He puts like a bunch of cayenne pepper in some coffee filters, and like there's the scene where like Colt and Rocky are fighting all like two of the bad guys in the living room, and they keep saying, "Are you ready yet, Tum Tum?" And he keeps being like, "No, I'm still making these," and they're like, gotta fight them some more, and they just keep beating them up longer and longer, and then finally they're ready, and then they run in the kitchen and they throw some pepper in their faces, and the bad guy's like, it burns.
Yeah, and then they're like,
Yay,
"Oh,
we did it."
I was like, that was a long time for some mild weapons. Like that
These
was
kids had just beaten up a ninja gang
Yeah.
earlier in the movie. They can't handle these 3 surfer burnout guys.
But yeah, they did straight up like nearly strangle the head bad guy because they tied the rubber around his neck to a banister, and he cannot get undone, and he chokes for like 10 minutes before his buddies come and get him.
yeah." He does like literally almost die.
I remember his buddies. They're like they think they have the 3 ninjas trapped, and because they add the laxatives.
They all have to go to
They
the
all
bathroom.
have to poop at the same time.
And then then the three ninjas shame them for stinking up the bathroom.
Yeah. One of the little kids opens the door, blasts open the door, and one of the villains pooping on the toilet.
And they're like, ew, gross. He's like, don't look.
Whoa. The literal definition of potty humor right here.
Oh, man. And finally, they basically have the three guys defeated, and they're like celebrating. They go and get the babysitter in the closet, and then the bad guys, like actual henchmen, show up and just grab
With
them.
that Jewish guy.
What they should have just done from Jump Street.
Yep.
Yeah, like that didn't make any sense. Like he had no motivation to not just go get the kids himself. He just was like, "Oh, I know the perfect guys because I don't want to do this."
The accountant guy was like, "No, let's throw some work my nephew's way."
Yeah. They're a bunch of idiots. Why don't they go kidnap some kids so I don't have to get in trouble?
It was terrible.
I wish I had those people in my life that I could just call
And
them
then-
kidnap a kid.
Yeah, and then the lead of the trio of idiots, it has the gall to ask if they're still getting paid.
Brad, do you have a kid that you want kidnapped?
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I know three guys that are real good.
Yeah. Well, so the main villain's plan was to kidnap the three kids just so he could hold it against the FBI father that was chasing him?
Yes, to
Just
get
to,
him
like, to put
stop
him
his
off long enough
investigation.
until he could make some sort of weapons deal.
So he can ship
Yeah.
the missiles. He kept saying ship the missiles.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I wrote that down. I don't know what it means, but he was saying ship the missiles. And I was like, what are you talking about? We're talking about missiles now?
So one of my other favorite parts is right here when all the police and all the FBI are at the house because the kids are now gone. And the grandpa shows up in full ninja gear out of nowhere, and they almost shoot him.
Well, yeah, it's a sweet scene of him like walking out of an alley that's like fogged behind him.
fog,
There's, like
yeah.
moonlight shining perfectly on him, cascading his ninja outfit, and he walks into a
Oh
driveway.
my gosh, this scene is so good.
It was so funny. Like, okay, I was just picturing this. You got someone walking out of the shadows, and then it just revealed to be an old man dressed as a ninja. And my first thought would be like, this man is not well.
Yeah, we need to call like mental health services for this guy.
Grandpa's out of the hospital
Let's
again.
Right?
Let's take him to the hospital. It's an old man dressed as a ninja, and it is 10:30.
And they almost shoot him, and the dad's like, no, it's just my crazy father-in-law, basically. And the grandpa's like, I know where the kids are being taken. And the dad's like, yeah, we do too. And the grandpa's like, how'd you know? I had to find out by following the bad guys. And the dad's like, we had our guys follow the bad guys.
That's a good line.
That makes sense.
It's really funny. And so yeah,
So
they're
now
like,
they
they're at the
basically
ship.
go to the shipping yard
Yeah.
where they're gonna ship these missiles.
Oh yeah, gotta ship those
And
missiles.
there's a giant like training.
There's a whole
center
dojo in
a
this
ship.
ship. And a ton of ninjas with full-on assault rifles.
Who apparently don't know karate at all.
No, they
just dressed the part.
They haven't been trained yet.
They know how to like do the hayas on the mat, and they know how to climb the ropes, but that's like all they've learned, I guess.
This is like the funniest villain problem in the world. He's like, I have the largest army in the world, and they are all incompetent. I need an old man to train them. It's like, if they just knew how to fight.
But they eventually
I
all
would
have
have a
guns
great
at the end.
army.
So it's like,
I would have
why do you need to fight if they all have guns anyway?
Well, they still have to learn how to use the guns, too. You gotta explain how the safety
like, look,
works.
trust me, I would have a great
How to load
criminal
the clip.
organization if my guys knew how to be criminals. Oh man,
He had so many guys.
there
like,
was so
backing
many
him.
ninjas on that
I
boat.
kept thinking about it. Is he paying these guys
Yeah.
like
Right?
what kind of salary are they getting?
I
Are they
can't.
getting health
I
benefits?
have to believe his
Are they getting-
expenses on this one job are far away when he's going to get paid for these missiles that he has to
Yeah,
ship.
he's got like 100 ninjas on this boat.
100 incompetent ninjas who he has to pay
I did.
for their incompetency.
I did really like the way they escape. The kids escape from their cell on the boat because they
phone
use
com-
the ship
phone
the
call?
phone to call
That was a solid
the
scene.
central ninja phone operator, and he's like, "Hey, call back this phone to test it." And they call it. They're like, "It's for you." To the guy at the door, who's like,
Yeah,
"Oh
just
yeah,
right
okay,
at the door.
I got it."
Hello, security.
Yeah, I'm in the kid's cell. Can you call me back? I want to test out the phone.
Rocky, you're crazy.
Just watch. Hello?
This is a phone check. Is that you, Frank?
Wait, you must mean the guard. Hold on. It's for you.
Legitimately, I thought that was a great scene.
I thought that was really funny.
The
I thought
guard
that was
comes
really
in, like,
good.
turns his back for, like, a minute.
Yep.
I was watching in 2x speed. His back was turned so long. And they finally beat him up.
I thought that was one of the, like, that scene and the dad telling the grandpa how to get through, like, were, like, the two funniest scenes in this movie. Like, where they're like, it's for you. And the guy's just, oh, okay. Comes on in. I thought that was great.
So now they've escaped, and they're hanging out in the ship.
And
They're fighting some ninjas. They're gathering what's around them because a ninja always uses their surroundings.
I'm confused.
As taught by their grandpa.
At one point, they all make nunchucks.
Yeah, or some kind of weapon.
Out of ships, out of things on the ship. One of them makes sense because it's like a pipe with some electrical wiring in it, which is what's holding it together. One of them just has a nunchucks that are two wrenches tied together, and I don't know how he tied those wrenches together.
Doesn't one of them, like, rip a pipe, electrical pipe,
Yeah.
off the wall?
Yes, he
When it's
does.
still,
He
like,
just tears it
still
right off.
sparking?
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
That just goes to show their incompetency. Like, you just ripped apart of the boat to use it to fight.
I like the
we
somewhere
need
upstairs,
that.
like some ninja's reading his ninja manual, and the light just goes out. He's like, God damn it, this boat sucks.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes of just, like, grabbing. I remember, like, Tum Tum's in the kitchen when they're trying to Home Alone the burglars, and there's a shelf that's just, like, way too high.
Yep.
And they cut to a hand going straight out, grabbing the thing and pulling it up.
Him getting all
It's
the
definitely
ingredients were hilarious.
There's, like, an
'cause,
8-foot tall guy getting the food for him.
There's like 3 insert shots of him grabbing stuff in that kitchen. Everyone is like him reaching, and then like a grown man's hand grabbing something.
Guy with hairy knuckles grabbing the
It's
stuff.
really funny.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
All the insert shots in that kitchen were hilarious. So at the same time, the grandpa's infiltrating the boat. Oh, I will say, like,
he sneaks up those sweet ropes.
Yes.
I remember that.
But this is like,
thing.
but them running through the ninjas running through the ship are like, this is when they finally actually start hurting people because, they use like the pipe and wrench nunchucks. They like blow some guy's face off with steam. Like, that guy's needs a hospital.
Well, the ninjas are so bad at being ninjas, one of the head ninjas with nunchucks beats up the guys behind him by whipping his nunchucks. Because they are that bad at ninja.
They're terrible.
They haven't learned how to use the nunchucks just yet. Cut them some slack.
Yeah, but I kind of like that sweet guy with the sword that you're talking about.
Yeah.
They eventually, like, get into, like, a boss level where this is, like, kabuki-faced, like, white and red face paint guy has a sweet sword and he's swinging it around. He's ready to fight. And the 3 ninjas break a steam pipe and shoot it in his face. And then
blast
beat him
him in the
up.
face.
They cut him with a knife. They cut his clothes off. He's of course wearing like red striped boxer
That was so
shorts.
good. Like, apparently the ninja training was to cut precisely the clothing and not the person underneath. They do such a great job of cutting all his clothing off. Oh
So
my goodness.
let's also not forget the guy that is basically Oddjob from Goldfinger.
That's the one that grabs them when they're in the house at the end of the Home Alone sequence.
Yep.
I think
this
he plays
big man.
He plays the Odd Job parody in Austin Powers.
Yeah.
What was it called? Random Task.
Yes.
Perfect for that guy. That's a great role.
So he was like, the actual competent henchman that this guy employed.
I might be wrong about that,
Sort
but
of.
I'm not going to take it back.
Don't. I feel like you're just right. We don't need to look that up. This is a part 2.
But-
Everything in part 2 is a fact.
There's no
Not to be
going
questioned.
back.
So then they eventually bust their way into like the main dojo on the ship, and are surrounded by more ninjas.
Yep, but they have to fight this guy, and they remember their training.
Yeah, their grandpa shows up on the upper level.
Because in the beginning of the movie, one of the training sessions was them hitting a dummy in a certain spot, and every time you did, its eyes would light up.
It'd go,
and this was
bing.
like the creepiest looking training dummy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It was like a
It was-
Stitch smile, giant red eyeballs.
But yeah, initially they punch and kick the big guy and nothing works, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And then the grandpa from like two floors up yells down to them, "Remember, light up the eyes! Remember your training!" And then disappears for the rest of this fight until the very end. I don't know where he went because
He had to get a snack.
Like, because he's up there on that floor. He tells them to remember their training. They spend like another 5 minutes kicking the crap out of this one guy, intercutting with shots of the dummy's eyes lighting up, which was about to like give me a seizure. And finally they finish, and then the bad guy shows up, and that's when the grandpa jumps down from the exact same spot he was at. And I was like, what was he waiting for?
But the guy just like falls over. The henchman guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just I thought he was gonna like throw up or poop or something, but he ends up just like making a weird face and falling backwards into the abyss.
Defeated.
It was like that 5-finger punch from Kill Bill in a way.
So then we have the final showdown with the grandpa and
the final countdown
and discount Steven Seagal, which was a lot of stunt doubles rolling around.
This scene, go back if you're gonna go back and watch this movie at all. Watch this scene in 2x speed. It is awesome. They are going so fast and playing so many swords. It actually looks like a real fight scene. I don't know what it looked like for you guys, but they were like clanging swords and jumping and doing all this sweet stuff.
Poorly choreographed is what it looked like.
Yeah. I had a great experience. Like, whoa, they're real fast. How do they train so hard to make it look so good?
And the whole time this is happening, the ninjas that are completely surrounding the dojo all have rifles, like pointed in, like full-on assault rifles. They're ready to take care of business. The bad guy's like, no, I'm gonna fight this old man myself. Even though he needed him to train his ninjas, he's like, I'm confident I can beat this guy, even though I can't train my own ninjas to do this. Does the grandpa defeat the guy, or do they all have to defeat the guy?
So
I can't even remember.
Here's what happens. Before the grandpa goes into the fight, Tum Tum hands him a bunch of jelly beans.
Oh, that's right.
And then a sweet sword fight happens. The bad guy uses a dirty trick and like blinds the grandfather. I forget how.
Like sand or something.
Yeah. The grandpa ends up like getting beat up a little bit, and he's caught in a bear hug, and then the grandpa just shoves jelly beans down the guy's mouth, and that's enough to distract him enough for him to get the advantage.
He's like, I hate jelly beans!
He started choking on that.
Yeah. Ugh. And then he has a gun, and he's aiming it at the 3 ninjas, but then the dad shoots that guy in the shoulder.
Yep, that's right, yeah. And that's when all the FBI guys show up, who I guess
shot.
had been told to wait like an hour to go in.
Yeah, why didn't they show up sooner?
There's so many inefficient groups in this movie.
And all these ninjas with their rifles are like, well, game's over.
Yeah. Even though, like, why wouldn't you just have a firefight right then and there?
Right, like they successfully fought the FBI at the beginning of the movie. Why didn't they try it here? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Maybe all his good ninjas were at that first fight, but they all eventually got arrested because only him and the guys in the helicopter got away.
And then the last scene of the movie is the dad saying that he's going to spend more time with his kids, and because they're going to go out for pizza.
And that he and that he thinks their ninja training is actually good.
Yeah, he's turned a
corner. And then me and Andy got the bonus scene of reconfronting the bullies on the bikes, and they finally kicked the crap out of like one of the bullies.
Out of the black kid.
The black kid. It was the black kid they beat up.
Yeah.
And all the other
Although
bullies.
he was like the most pushy out of all of them.
Yeah. So the rest of them all run away and they get their bikes back. And Emily actually likes Rocky at that point. Or maybe she loves him.
She liked him from
Maybe
the
she
beginning.
loves him though. Oh yeah, they were always an item.
You think they were sitting in a tree in KISSING?
He loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves What's going on? My brothers are retarded.
Oh, I don't. You know.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to go. I'd say probably.
This movie influenced me so much as a kid, and I didn't realize it. But there were jokes. So when you're a kid, the only time you can be funny is when you see something else funny on TV or a movie, and then no one else in your class has seen it, and then they think it's what you said.
You get to be the first one to pretend like it's yours.
It's yours. And I remember that On Top of Old Smoky song being something that like all of us would sing. And I thought, that's a fun song. I like never realized it came from this movie.
All covered with blood. I shot my poor teacher with a 44 stud.
When I was watching this, I'm like, I know I saw this movie as a kid, but I feel like what I was trying to remember in the first half was just kicks back. Because I'm like watching this, like I feel like I remember all sorts of stuff that didn't happen in this movie.
I didn't realize there's 4 of these.
What boggle? I looked
There's
it up.
4.
I thought there was just
Ninja.
No, there's 4.
Yeah.
The last one has the most ridiculous title.
High
It's
Noon
like-
Mega Mountain.
Yeah.
With Arnold
With
Schwarzenegger or
Hulk Hogan.
Yes, but
Lonnie Anderson.
Oh God.
apparently this movie, like I was like, this movie was so terrible. Like it couldn't have been that. Like how did they make so many more? Like they made like Three Ninjas for like $2 million, and it made like $30 million.
that's
like
how you
it
do
was
it.
a huge.
If it makes money, you're gonna. Make
It was
a
like the
sequel.
highest grossing movie that year.
Kids were so
Really?
dumb.
No
in the
way.
Not,
night.
I mean, I should
I
say
mean-
probably highest grossing kids movie that year, but
that's still like that's a good return for the.
it's a
90s.
huge return. Which I was like, okay, I totally understand why they made. I don't think any of the other ones made back what they spent on them, but this one made a ton of money.
So, yeah, and then that gets to the point where it's like, do we keep making these or will they not make money? And
Right.
That was one where it's like, okay, we've had enough of these.
Yep.
We don't
Yeah,
need that.
It definitely got diluted. There were so many of these kind of movies. Kid and King Arthur's Court,
Surf
yeah.
Ninja.
Surf Ninja.
Surf Ninja.
Well, the ninja thing ran out pretty fast too. They
Yeah.
didn't even get past Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh,
That kind of ended everything.
Yeah.
And ninjas haven't been around in a long time.
I still really want to watch Ninja Turtles 3. That's
Oh, yeah,
that's my favorite one.
Dude.
Really?
Yeah,
It's not good.
It's not good. I know,
It's
but it's
very
my favorite
racist.
one. It's really racist.
We are not watching that movie. for
We
the
are
podcast.
definitely watching that movie for this podcast. But
It's
yes.
like 90s racist. It's like, we don't know that we're doing this.
Let's just paint white people up to look like Asian people.
Yeah, exactly. I think
big
that's what
deal.
I was kind of saying is happening here. I think they
Right.
tried to make her look somewhat Asian.
Where's back to that? We were done. You were fine.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
You were in the clear.
No, I'm saying the 90s were
boy.
racist.
When this movie ended, though, boy, was I glad it was over.
Yeah.
It felt so long. Oh my gosh. And like, I felt like even the Home Alone scene didn't happen until way too long into this movie. And it was much longer
It
than the
was so
climax on the boat.
Home Alone ruined everything.
Oh, boy.
It made so many people try to cash in on the Home Alone
Yep.
gimmick and the kids and the everything.
This movie overall was just flat out like annoying and boring.
The only reason I might watch any of it again is to compare it to the other version. Especially at least the basketball scene, because I'm very confused.
I feel like you're not missing much.
Then watch the sword fight in 2 times speed. It's sweet.
I might
Yeah.
I might do that, but otherwise I don't ever need to watch this movie again. It's so bad. I might watch Kickback.
Do we know who Colonel Farouk is or Colonel Fark?
Colonel Fark.
Farouk?
Farouk?
I wrote it down. Who is Colonel Farouk? Because the villain at one point near the end says something about a Colonel Farouk.
Oh, maybe that's who he's
seen the
maybe
sequel?
that's who he's shipping the missiles to.
That's the
Oh.
sequel villain, I bet.
Oh,
Okay,
I bet it is.
okay.
Yeah.
I got into it and I was just like, what is this? Are they explaining plots that like I didn't get?
It probably
before?
connects to Knuckle Up, which is
Oh my
the one they
God.
shot simultaneously with this one. Even though they shot these two together, they released this one, then Kickback, then Knuckle Up, then the Hulk Hogan one. I can't believe they got that many movies out of this, but I also couldn't believe how much money this movie made.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's
The
a-
90s were a crazy time, man.
Over 6 years, they made 4 Three Ninja movies.
Oh, that's 4 too many. I didn't need any of them. Was there anything we missed, Bradlin, on your list?
We're not missing anything, but I had fun nicknames for things. I called
Ooh.
those 3 guys the Pooper Boys.
Because they laxatives.
Yeah. I called that phone conversation thing the old phonesy onesie twosie.
It was a onesie
It's
twosie.
old phonesy onesie twosie. And I called that sweet guy with the white face paint the Witch Ninja Steam Man.
Nice.
I was confused about how bad Emily was at recognizing who was on that tin can phone. Because she talks to Rocky, and then she talks to Tum Tum, and she's like, "Is this Rocky?" And he's like, "Oh, Rocky loves Emily." And then she talks to one of the Pooper boys, and she's like, "Is this Rocky again?" I was like, "That's clearly like a 30-year-old man. What do you? Why?"
She's like,
I
she
get that
thinks-
it's a tin can, but
she thinks that one person uses the CB radio.
yeah. She's like, all 3 boys share a room. She needs to be like, please put Rocky on the phone until Rocky confirms it's him.
Rocky, are you alone?
No, I'm never alone. I have 2 brothers. We're in one room. I'm never alone.
I can never do what I want to do, if you know what I mean. I am a young adult now, and I need 5 minutes in the morning.
That my room is down the hall under construction for the last 6 years. My parents are never going to finish it until I'm off to college.
I can't even buy a telephone. I have to use this can.
Oh my gosh. She was terrible at figuring that out.
Well, the bottom line is this movie was really good, though, guys.
Everyone should go out right now and rewatch this movie. It's
Yeah.
worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Although I did have to make one final correction, Brad.
Oh.
Do it.
That guy was not Random Task.
Okay.
In Austin
I knew it.
Powers.
I knew he wasn't.
That was
But
a good guess, though.
he had a decent
Career?
Yeah, career before this movie.
What's his top 4 films?
He was in. Some of them are definitely like straight to video.
Oh yeah.
That's the best kind.
Yeah, the lead.
He has a small part in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
That's true. Oh.
He's the butler at the
yeah.
house.
man.
That's how and
yeah.
he jumps into the pool.
Yep.
That's where he's from.
Yep.
That's his big break. The lead dude of the 3 stoner guys also went on to have a pretty good acting career. So, and John Turteltaub is an amazing directing career out of this movie.
He did.
This was his way into all those Disney films.
I was worried. I looked up the writer-director, just to see. I was like, I didn't know if it was a written and directed by, but looking up the director, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy did major films.
All the National Treasure films, a bunch of stuff for
Wow.
Disney.
Huge films.
You got to start somewhere.
He didn't write it though, which was good. The writers did not have their own
He
Wikipedia
just
page,
made them.
so
He
I
knew
was.
how to make the monies.
My phone died, but his last movie was The Last Action Hero. He was in that.
Oh, he was probably
Okay.
Butler in that one too. I think.
Wow,
I
Brad.
think he got butlered. He got butler typed.
You got butlered.
He got
the
butler
last,
typed.
just got
the
butlered.
last half of his career, he just got butlered.
Yeah.
Just like in the corner.
Our next movie has the tagline, "When a boy prays for a chance to have a family, if the California Angels win the pennant, angels are assigned to make that possible." You guessed it. That's an easy one. Angels in the outfield.
Dad, when are we gonna be a family again?
A boy searching for a future.
I'd say when the Angels win the pennant.
And Williams and Norton collide, and the catch is blown.
A coach running from his past.
Are you cracking up, or is this a repeat of Cincinnati?
No, it's nothing like that. And a team that's their only prayer.
There's a thing called talent. They don't have it.
God, if there is a God, maybe you could help him win a little. I'd really, really like a family.
Ben Williams makes a miraculous catch.
Holy cow!
How do you do that?
2 angels came out of the sky and they picked up Ed Williams.
Great. A psycho kid. Oh, please, don't drink me. No. Just call me Al. No one can see me or hear me but you.
Do you believe in angels?
It must have been those chili dogs I ate before the game.
You really do see something, don't you? Make some kind of signal.
I'll go like that, okay? Here we go again.
That's the game.
You believe there's real angels?
I know it sounds crazy.
I'm relieving you of your management responsibilities.
Somewhere between losing hope. You can't go through life thinking everyone you meet will one day let you down. And finding the courage. You can call it angels.
I won't play for anyone but George Knox.
You can call it faith.
That goes for me, too.
You can call it whatever you like. They gave the world something to believe in.
I got nothing left.
Got an angel with you right now. Danny Glover. Tony Danza.
Even though you can't see us,
And Christopher Lloyd.
always watching.
Disney's Angels in the Outfield.